Thank you for taking the time to listen to this message. All of higher education is now operating in a unique and extremely volatile environment. For the University of Akron, the COVID pandemic has brought into sharp focus an important and very hard truth. Our financial situation is not sustainable without taking immediate and significant action. Most importantly, COVID erased any opportunity to deal with our financial situation over an extended period of time, even a period of time as short as 1 year. As you know, on July 15th, the Board of Trustees took action to substantially and immediately reduce the university workforce. This reduction includes members of all groups of employees, including faculty. The board has also approved contract extensions with the Akron AAUP and other bargaining units. These new agreements include sacrifices in pay and increases in health care contributions for many of our bargaining unit employees. The tentative faculty contract also includes incentives to ease eligible colleagues into retirement. I want to make it clear that all of the actions of the board were taken upon my recommendation. My recommendations were developed over a period of months through the work with many committed professionals and in consultation with members of the faculty, staff, students, community, alumni, and friends of the university. The deans and department chairs and vice presidents developed their plans and consulted with the provost to make final determinations. Many of the assumptions used in making these recommendations were tested in deep conversations with our many advisory boards, the University of Akron Foundation Board, the University President's Council, alumni leaders, and many others having vast experience and long connection with the university and the city of Akron. I talked regularly with university presidents in Ohio and around the country, and I briefed the chancellor extensively and sought his advice. Our focus was always on finding solutions that supported students and faculty and retained the important role of this university in teaching, research, and community engagement. During this process, we asked hundreds of questions and analyzed dozens of major alternative strategies. Indeed, I have not seen a question arising in the public discussion about our plans before or after the recent board meeting that we had not already considered. Here are a few of the most important questions we ask ourselves. Is the financial situation really as difficult as it appears? Of course, this was the very first question we asked. Extensive analysis and scenario building went into our discussions of this question. Unfortunately, we concluded that we faced unprecedented challenges and the situation was as serious as we thought. As part of our analysis of the depth of the situation, we asked, how much time do we have to solve it? Could we simply hold in place for a year or two while the COVID pandemic resolved itself? And could we just draw more from reserves because this might be a temporary situation that we face? Again, the data clearly show we do not have the financial reserves to do this. Indeed, as we looked at this more closely, it became clear we would have to act immediately in the FY21 budget. One of the other immediate questions was whether a restructuring of our auxiliary enterprises, such as athletics, could be used to offset reductions elsewhere. We were able to accomplish some of this, but as we have exhaustively detailed, these enterprises are complicated, multi-connected entities that can't be altered rapidly. We are committed to continuing these efforts to reduce financial support for athletics and other auxiliary units. One partial way to manage the situation, though not solve it, would be to put in place temporary cost-cutting measures to improve cash flow. Unfortunately, as you know, until recent actions by the board, the University of Akron had no furlough or temporary salary reduction policies. Because of this, we are only now able to use these measures to meet this challenge. We asked lots of questions about how to build more efficiency into our administrative structure, and we did achieve some successes in that area. Chief among them is the reorganization of the administration of academic programs into 5 colleges, which we believe will not only save money over time, but also increase program collaboration. Ultimately, we had to deal with the most difficult question. Could we resolve this situation without a substantial reduction in force? Unfortunately, all of our financial analyses clearly indicated this was neither feasible nor possible. The answers our analyses gave us to these and many other questions were unfortunately hard and uncomfortable to hear. There are those, even those who have examined the same data I've examined, who will choose to simply not believe the answers. But the data are, in fact, grounded in reality. There is one question we never ask ourselves. Would we take any action that would knowingly diminish the opportunities for our current and future students? The answer is no. I am not aware of any meeting, discussion, planning session, or analysis by any group during this entire process where the quality of the student experience, now and into the future, was not the most important consideration. On my recommendation, and unfortunately, the board has taken the only actions open to us at this time. What happens now? Frankly, our fate now rests with the imperative that the tentative agreement with the Akron AAUP be ratified. If the contract approved by the board is approved by the AAUP voting members, even though the university will have weathered a great storm, suffered the nearly unbearable loss of good colleagues, struggled with the realization of historic actions, and at times been nearly overwhelmed with the difficulties of this time, it will also have emerged out of a deficit spending mode where we can begin to grow and invest. If the contract is not approved, we will unfortunately exhaust our precious reserves as we take many, many months, time which we do not have, to fight legal battles. At the same time, we will have to invoke faculty retrenchment, a lengthy process that will cause many more faculty to lose their jobs than were achieved through the recent board actions. The university will be at far greater risk if that were to occur, with even fewer faculty and little to no financial reserves left. It's my sincere hope that members will support the contract. It's far from perfect, but it gives many departing colleagues a bridge to retirement. It gives us tools to avoid future reductions in force. It gives us our one and only chance to rise out of our constant deficit mode and to push forward. Without ratification, those opportunities will be lost. No one likes the situation we're in. No one wants to see colleagues and friends depart. But all of us love this university. This is a time when our love requires immense courage and action. For both the short-term and long-term future of the University of Akron, I urge that the tentative contract be approved. Thank you.